Hello, law firm owners. Welcome to the Law and Quarter podcast, where we're not just aiming for the top, we're redefining it. I'm your host, Jayden Doyé, your friendly CPA, with a passion for turning good firms into great ones. Whether it's networking, branding, or the nitty-gritty of growing your finances, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get ready to make some waves. Today's episode is called Mingle Master, Network Like a Pro. Today, I'm going to do a deep dive into how to master in-person networking events. The first question I'm going to answer is, how do you prepare for in-person networking events? There's a few different things. First, you want to make sure that you know what you're going to wear. Always dress to impress. So personally, what I'm going to wear to the event, I'm most likely not going to wear to work that day. I'm going to have a change of clothes. I have to have a ritual where I take a shower. Even if I took a shower that morning, which I do every morning, I still need to take a shower in that evening before I go to that event. It just refreshes me. So it doesn't hurt. Take a shower, brush your teeth, and have a pre-event playlist. So whatever music helps you get in the mood, get hype, get social, that's what you want to have as you're preparing for the event and as you're actually on your way to the event. You don't want to be on your way to an event having calls with people that are going to bring your mood down. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you get your mood up. You want to make sure that you have energy. So if it's water, Gatorade, whatever you need to have energy for this event, you want to make sure that you do. Because if you're going to be there and you're going to be a negative Nancy, then you're actually doing more damage than help. The next question I'm going to answer is, how can you make a memorable first impression? Well, the first thing that people are going to notice when you're 10 feet away is what you're wearing. So I'm not saying that you have to buy designer. You can look fresh from Shein, believe it or not, okay? But you want to be whatever the event calls for, whether if it's a dress down event, you want to be dressed appropriately for that. If it's a dress up event, you want to be appropriate for that. But I always recommend having something that's going to stand out. Whether it's a blazer or your tie or a necklace or your earrings, have some type of statement piece. Then as you get closer, people are going to notice your smile. So nobody wants to walk up and approach someone that looks like they have a bad attitude. So make sure that for those who don't smile, make sure that you practice smiling. Think happy thoughts. Think about the money that's going to come in your bank account as you're approaching someone. You also want to make sure that you compliment people. That's how you really make a memorable first impression. So as you're having that conversation, don't go straight for the sale. Introduce yourself and give them a compliment on something that you can see. They may not remember what exactly you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. The next question I'm going to answer is, how can you turn casual conversations into business opportunities? Well, through casual conversations, a lot of times people will end up telling you their problems. And you don't necessarily need to tell them that you have a solution, but what you can do is use a series of questions so that they get to the solution for you. So let's say you're a business attorney and you work with doctors and you're at this doctor conference and you realize that this potential client that you're talking to, you're having casual conversations with, they may have an employment violation, and that's something that you help with. You're going to ask them a series of questions. Just maybe when I say series, don't ask them 10 questions. I mean 1 to 3 questions to kind of get a sense of what they've done to possibly alleviate that problem, and maybe did they know that this was an issue, and have they thought about working with someone that can solve their problem for them, right? And then they say, yeah, I would love to work with somebody that can help me with that. And that's when you say, well, you're in luck today because that's what I do. And that, I'm telling you, works every time. The next question is, how do you handle networking nerves? So believe it or not, I show up very confidently, but sometimes I do get a little nervous, especially if I'm going to an event where it's my first time going to this event. So what I like to do is first try to find someone that you know. That and strike up conversation with that. That'll break the ice, right? For me, then I like to go to the bar and have a glass of Prosecco. Prosecco calms my nerves, and it's one glass of Prosecco. It's not gonna have me slurring my words. I'm not gonna appear drunk and unprofessional. And so that helps. Also, my pre-event playlist helps me hype myself up before I even get to the event. And then lastly, just talking to some people casually first that you may not even think are potential clients, like people that you see are alone, right? Those people are probably nervous as well. So you're in the same boat. So you approaching them and striking up a casual conversation, before you know it, your nerves will go away after you talk to one or two people. The last question is, what's the secret to a killer elevator pitch? Well, depending on the audience or the participants for the event, you may not necessarily need to give an elevator pitch, but I'll give you two examples. The first one being an educational event. If you're hosting some type of educational event, you should, at the end of your presentation, do a recap of the points mentioned through your presentation, and then tell them that these problems are the ones that you solve, and if they would like to, they can schedule a consultation, right? That's easy way to do it in presentation form. Now, when we're in-person networking, you don't necessarily always want to give an elevator pitch, because then people, especially in a happy hour type of environment, the attention span is going to go out the window. They're going to feel a little pressure. They might feel like, I don't want to really want to be pitched to. So a lot of times what I recommend is you let them ask you for how they can contact you. Another thing that you can do is not necessarily talk to them directly. However, you can talk in terms of problem, action, solution. So giving a fact of the industry, saying what problems your ideal clients actually have, talking about a time that you've helped somebody and what that solution looked like. If you can do that in 30 seconds, then that will be even better than going through like a commercial script at an in-person networking event. And if you can do that, and don't necessarily come in saying as if you want that person as a client, but say more in the sense that if they know someone that needs X, Y, and Z, then come to you. That, believe it or not, will work, because in their mind, they don't feel the pressure like, oh, this person's trying to sell me. They're gonna say, wow, matter of fact, I do know somebody that needs that, and that's me. And they're more likely to reach out to you. And that's it for today's episode. Are you loving the gems that I'm dropping? If you're ready to take your law firm to the next level, why not book a complimentary consultation with me? And let's tailor these strategies to your firm. Just use the link in the description of this video. Remember, the sky's the limit, but why not shoot for the stars? And that's a wrap for this episode of the Law and Quarter podcast. I hope you're walking away with ideas that'll set your practice on fire in the best way possible. Hope you'll join me on the next episode. Until then, keep making it rain.